Hello guys, my name is CJ and welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video about my jaw surgery. I'll be explaining everything I had done, what it was like, the experience, the surgery, the recovery, everything like that. And yeah, so let's just get straight on with the video. On the 22nd of January, I got my jaw surgery. I got 4 wisdom teeth removed and they broke my jaw and moved it to the side and forward. So if you noticed my crooked smile before, that's because this side of my mouth doesn't have any nerves in it. So the nerves aren't in here anymore, and usually it goes back. For the time being, my smile is perfectly normal, but it may stay like that because he's only ever had 2 patients with my condition. So, you know, right now it looks like this. I guess it is a bit crooked actually now. I don't know. So basically, how the day began was I had to fast from 7:30 AM, so I couldn't eat anything and I couldn't drink anything at all. It's even not water, and I love water, so that was fun. We got to the city around either 10 or 12, I can't exactly remember, and because we had to drive to the city to get it done. Or did we take the train? No, we drove there. We had to drive there because I was staying overnight. I packed my bags and everything with everything I need for an overnight stay. Turned out I didn't need a lot of it because we don't wear our own clothes there. So we waited for like 2 hours or something, I think, before they called us in to go have our interview with one of the people that work there. So we walked in and we just did the normal talk, asking questions, do you have any allergies, which I said no, but watch till the end of the video because that's not how it ended. She weighed me, she did my height, so I'm 170 centimeters, which I already knew, and my weight at that time was 64, I think. I weighed 64 then, yeah, kilos. And so she explained everything to us, even though we already knew it, and she put this thing on my hand, which that's why there's a bruise. But, she put this thing on my hand right where this bruise is, which was like a sticker that was gooey, so when I'm getting the surgery and they put the anesthetic in, it won't hurt because it just sort of, it like numbs my hand first before it numbs the rest of my body. And she just explained everything in there. Oh, also, when she did put the thing on my hand, she said, where are your veins? So keep that in mind because you actually can't see the veins in my hands. So you might want to keep that in mind further on in the story. I just don't want to, I know it sounds confusing because I'm not explaining everything, but it's because I kind of want to go in order so it all makes sense, you know? Yeah. She gave me a bag to put the clothes I was wearing in, and then she gave me all the new clothes. So I went around the corner into the change rooms where I got changed into the clothes that I have to wear in the hospital. My mum was there to help me because I was a bit confused with some things because it was weird. Like my underwear was like a shower cup and they were so big and I felt like I wasn't wearing anything. I felt like I was naked. I thought I could at least wear like my bra and my undies myself, but no, you change everything. I had to have a shower cap on. I had to wear like a gown and a dressing gown. And I had to wear these socks that prevent getting blood clots just to make sure like I don't get a blood clot, you know what I mean? And these shoes that were like shower cuts for your feet. It was weird. So I got all of that changed and then we waited in the waiting area for, I don't know how long, maybe an hour or a bit less, I reckon. And then they called me in. So I went onto this other room where I lay down on my bed, which became my best friend for the time because I was on the bed the whole time at the hospital. I was still with my mum at this point, and also the interviewer, we had to find out if my mum was allowed to leave because she didn't bring anything for the night because she thought she could leave, and that the person was a bit confused thinking she had to stay because I'm only 15 years old and I'm underage. But we got it clarified and we found out it was perfectly fine and my mum could leave for the night. Just usually parents don't. So if you're getting jaw surgery, your parents are allowed to stay. My mum just didn't because we didn't see the point in it. Like, she'd had to sleep in an armchair and everything, and I was going to sleep anyway, so you know what I mean? So when I was in the bed, a nurse talked to me and explained stuff, made sure everything was alright, and then my surgeon, not my surgeon, but like the surgeon assistant, I don't know, I already knew who he was, explained some stuff to me, and we got all of that sorted. And then my mum, I said goodbye to her, she left the area, I went to a different part of the building to wait, and I went in to the surgery room. So when I was at the surgery room, I got out of my bed and I rolled into the surgery bed where, so I was talking to my surgeon and the assistant surgeon, and they told me about my smile and everything and wondering how it would end up turning out. And I was like in the middle of a conversation and they put the endoscope in my hand and I fell instantly asleep, which I feel kind of rude for because I was in the middle of a conversation, but you know what? I guess that all has to do because I went to sleep. But I think sometime during the surgery they also had to put other needles in me, or maybe it was the anesthetic and I wasn't actually asleep when I thought I was, I don't know, but it left a bruise because it actually, I think it was the anesthetic, because it didn't actually touch my veins, because my veins are so small, they're so hard to see and stuff. So here I have a bruise because they tried 3 times in here to get my veins and it didn't work. And then they also tried in the middle of my arm, which I think is what they did last. There's no bruise there and the thing's already gone, and there was like a band-aid and stuff on there to cover it up. And they also tried up here like 2 times, which also led to a bruise because my veins weren't there because they healed and stuff. So if you have small veins, that might happen to you. It's worse than bruising on my hands than it actually is on my face, as you can see. But that's how it will go. Usually people's veins aren't like hidden, but I have like weird skin. I have fat hands, that's why they're not where they're meant to be, but you know what, it's fine. So 2 hours went past, the surgery was all done, and I woke up in the recovery room. So the recovery room is a room with a bunch of patients who also have just had surgery. Could be the same thing, could be different. Everything's blurry as soon as you wake up. Well, for me it was. I couldn't see anything, it was all blurry. I was like, oh my god, did the surgery stuff up? I lost my eyesight, like what is this, do I need glasses? Because it took forever till my eyes actually could adjust. And I had an oxygen mask on my face and everything to make sure I could breathe, but I kept going back to sleep because I was tired still and everything. But I overheard my nurses talking, saying that one of the medicines they tried to give me I reacted badly to, and said I'm not used to drugs, and I obviously don't take drugs, which I don't, but also just normal drugs like medication. Like, I don't believe in medication. I don't take Panadol, I don't take Nurofen, I don't take anything. I'm just like, you know what, time will pass, whatever is hurting will be gone. That's how it works. Yeah, I think personally that medication is something that you take it and you make yourself believe that's going to make you feel better, and then you feel better because you believe it's going to feel better. Because when I've taken it, it's never done anything for me because I don't believe in it and nothing happens, you know what I mean? I'm probably wrong, I don't really care, but that's just my personal opinion. And so eventually when I woke up correctly and they knew I was awake, they took the oxygen mask off of me. I had this thing on my finger to see my heart rate, and I had things attached to my hand with the big machine that has like the beep to see if I'm still alive and stuff and how I'm going. So I was in there for a while. Eventually some guy came in asking if anybody wanted like icy poles or anything. I obviously didn't because I just had jaw surgery, and even though I had fasted the whole day basically and not eaten anything, I just didn't feel like having like an icy pole, you know what I mean? And there was a guy opposite me, this is a little funny story, who had the same surgery as me. He looked either a year or 2 older than me, and he kept on trying to take his oxygen mask, but his heart rate and everything wasn't correct yet, and he needed to keep it on. He kept trying to take it off, and the nurse was like, no, you need to keep that on so you can breathe, and he's like, try to take it off, and I'm like, he was probably wondering, how come that girl doesn't need hers on anymore and I do? Because I think he was awake when I already woke up, so he's also just taken longer for him to adjust. Because everybody's body is obviously different and not the same. So they asked me if I could talk, because usually straight after surgery you can't really move your mouth and you can't talk and everything's numb and everything. Like, I had this white thing around my head and ice around my head and everything was numb, and they saw if I could talk, and I could talk. So after surgery, if you're good at it, you may be able to talk, you may not. Usually it's most likely you won't be able to talk, or it will hurt you to talk, but for me it didn't hurt and I could talk. I obviously couldn't understand me, I couldn't move my mouth, but I was like a ventriloquist, which I was for like a week after surgery anyway, with just like I closed it, I was just talking like this the whole time. But now I can move my mouth and everything is better. I said like I have a list just because like I can't open it the whole way because I have these bands, which are not like braces bands, okay? They they put these on after the surgery. They're not like braces bands, they're a lot smaller and they're really strong, just to make sure the jaw is in the correct spot and doesn't move back. So they hurted at the, I'm not up to that yet, I'll talk about that later. Eventually they took me out of the recovery room and took me to my own room, which was where I met my nurse and we talked and everything, and then the surgeon assistant guy type thing came in and was asking me questions and asked me to talk and everything, and he asked me on a scale of 1 to 10 how much pain I was in. I wasn't in any pain really, and I didn't really know what to say, but I said 2 because I don't want to be like nothing, and usually people are in a lot of pain, so I was just like, you know what we say 2 so he knows it doesn't really hurt and that's not really a problem, but at least I can still feel some pain, you know what I mean? So I said that. He eventually left, and then my mum came in and saw how I was going. My mum hates blood though, and there was blood coming out of my mouth and a lot of drooling, because that's just what happens. And my mum faints at the sight of blood, so a lot of the time she wasn't really looking at me, you know. And then my dinner came in. So my dinner I had was gravy, mashed potato, mashed vegetables, mashed carrot. I also had some soup and a chocolate mousse. I nearly ate all of it, which was a big surprise, especially because they weren't all liquids, and they're really proud of me. Usually people don't eat straight out of surgery, and because they just don't feel like it and it hurts too much, but I was fine too because I'm like a quick healer. And yeah, eventually I went to sleep listening to some music on the TV screen on YouTube and everything, and yeah, my mum left, I said goodbye, and oh, is that a stitch? I think it's just a stitch. I thought something important came out of my mouth. I think it's just a stitch. I'll just leave that here so that I could tell my mum that that just happened. Wow, okay. So what else I gotta say? What was I just talking about? Oh, so my mum left, and then it got to overnight, and I went to sleep really late for me, but I kept waking up in the middle of the night because the overnight nurse obviously has to come in and check on me, make sure everything's alright, give me water, make sure my heart rate's correct, make sure everything's correct. And then around 6 AM she helped me go to the toilet. Ideally he did my undies because I forgot I was wearing them because they are so big and it was a shower cap on my legs. So she helped me do that because she had to carry the machine and everything. And I went to the toilet, and yeah, and then around 7 my assistant surgeon person came in, and he has a name, I just don't know what it is, and he took the white thing off of my head, so I just had the ice now. And I'm out of breath. I feel like I'm talking too much because I shouldn't be talking this much, but I want to film this video for you guys, so I don't really care. So we did that. These are different bands. They cut these bands off, and I got these bands a week after when I saw surgery again. Then I had my breakfast, which there was a lot of food, but all I could have was a little bit of the porridge and some iced coffee because I don't usually eat breakfast, so it was too much for me. And then eventually at like 3, after watching some Netflix during the day, I went home.